Hey viewers, and in today's video we're going to be doing the website for the fitness app in Figma. My name is Roy, I'm a web designer. If you do find the content useful, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get into the video. So today we're going to be doing the fitness websites for the app in the last video, and thanks again for your comments. Some of you really liked the inspiration board and the process of finding design inspiration. So again, we're going to do that for the website, and just to touch on some resources. So for example, you've got one page love, you've got landing folio, and I'm just going to show you some of these bits now. So for example, this is not actually on the to-do list, but the inspiration behind the app and the journey is seconds pro interval timer. So this one, the reason how I found this is because of the fitness trainer on YouTube, Joe Wicks. He recommended this app, and that is why I started looking at it, and I started looking at the journey. So as you can see here, there's nothing too fancy about it, right? But you got a product shot, you got the headline, you have the main value proposition, smart workout log for strength training at the gym, okay, and then download button, right? And then after that, you got some more details about the product. It's just very simple layout, and they're all videos as well, so that is quite good. You got music as well. You got, well, a lot of features, to be honest, lots and lots of features. You even got the footer here, which for some reason is not laying out correctly. But again, that is why these are real websites. And again, Dribble is a good place as well, but some of the designs are, how can you say, they might be too ambitious. But if you go to these type of resources, real websites, you know what works, and again, you can use these as an inspiration. Now, another one that's actually not on the list is Tiny Hearts Studio, an award-winning studio. Okay, so they've created some of these really nice apps, and this one, for example, was their wake alarm, and you can see this shot is just a really nice close-up shot, and I'm wondering if that's a real-life shot or they actually put that in. Anyway, it looks really good. It's really close up. This is on their own website, so I can't find their product website, but anyway, you've got nice shots here, clean shots, and then yeah, download on the App Store. But this is their own blog post about it. But what I like about their stuff is just really nice, clean, zoomed in macro or micro shot of the product. Okay, and Fitbit, of course, again, I've referenced them in previous videos because they are a pretty successful company. And what they do, again, it's the same patterns you're going to see. Logo on the left, reading from left to right, which is why most of the time you have the text on the left, and you have the main heading, you have some subtext, you have the main call to actions here, and of course you have the product shot. So again, it's a phone app, and they got all these other devices that they designed for. And now one of the resources that I go to sometimes is called onepagelove.com. Okay, so here again, these are real websites, real inspiration. So for example, here, this is actually me a long time ago. So if you look for me, Quillo, and this was me a long time ago. And this was something I submitted when I had my portfolio. Probably something that we need to do, or I need to do, is to redesign my website. But here you can see what I did is, even though we're going off subject, but here I've got a photo of myself. Hello, I'm Roy Quillo, product designer who loves simple design, say hi. And now, just as proved yesterday, when I said I wanted to do a fitness app, this was something I did a long time ago called the Gains app. Again, this is inspired by Brawn, so you can see the red lines. Maybe even this would be pretty good. My gosh. So yeah, this is my portfolio that I had a while ago. Again, I did some prototyping for football, like a grid scores, And here as well we have a, this is something I was doing for Awesome back then. It was a blog, and this is a logo that I did for Awesome. You can see the two W's. So yeah, this was me a long time ago with my portfolio. The inspiration that I found is this one here, which is not to do with fitness, okay? But what I liked about it is you've got some real people in the background, you have a product shot, download on the App Store, and is this even, let's launch the website. Okay, they're not live at the moment, but you got the logo, you got the main heading, and you got the product shot. So I think this is really nice. Now if we go to Braun, now Braun, they have real life photos. So again, there's a lot of things about illustrations and 3D images, but again, if you want to use some real life websites and you're inspired by a certain brand, and again Fitbit, now Fitbit, they're using real people, well, and you've got a product shot which can work as well. Okay, so you've got real life photos. Landing Folio is a good place to find real websites. Just, you can spend hours on this. So again, what we're going to do before we start designing is we are going to get the Pomo timer. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you what I did. So again, we're looking at all these inspirations and real life photos, and one app that I recommend is Figma Mirror, and I'll show you why in a minute, because this will let you connect to your phone, your iPhone. I'm not sure about Android, but you can connect to your phone, and then you could just play with the prototype, and then you could take a product shot. Okay, so for example, just as an example to show you what I've done is, you can see here these pictures are not perfect, right? The lighting is really bad, but what I wanted to do was do a zoomed in shot of the product, right? So this is on a real phone, on my old iPhone SE, and you can see here the shots are pretty nice, they're close up, and I think they work. Okay, again, you're going to worry about being perfect, but again, I think the main thing is you have a product shot. We could probably get a nice clean shot as well of the app. You don't have to have these real life shots. And then this one here is something I found on Pexels. This is by Kamaji Ogino, and this is a real nice photo of a mother and daughter, I assume, working out. And the only downside is you can't see a phone anywhere. That would have been perfect, and you'll be surprised if you look around, you're trying to find an exercise shot, and I could have took one of myself, but that will take time and it has to be a decent shot. So anyway, this is a nice shot I think that we could use combining with one of these close-up shots. So again, just referencing what Tiny Hearts did with this, I just think this is a really nice shot. So we touched on all the resources, and again, what I could highly recommend is the time box. Okay, so I always go over half an hour, but well, the train. But let's see if we can do the execution part. Okay, because basically a lot of this is research and gathering images and research, and now the next bit is executing. So maybe executing could be 30 minutes, okay? So let's hit the timer on that. And what we're going to do is hit the F key and click on the screen. We are going to design for a MacBook Pro, okay? We are going to go to concept 0. Now what I've done here is I went from iPhone X to 8 to SE. So again, this could be another challenge for you, is if you don't have an iPhone X, which I don't have one, I had to design for a smaller one. So again, you have to adjust the design for that. So anyway, I'm going to just copy some assets over. So let's say this one and this one. Let's just copy those two and go over to website and paste those in. Okay, now let's bring the gap closer. Okay, cool. So these are really pretty big shots, really big shots actually. And what we need is the logo, so I'm just copying, pasting. Now what color are we going to do for that? I'm wondering. Could be orange, right? But in my case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go with black. So I'm going to go to primary dark as an example. And here we are going to have set fitness. So again, I'm just copying that over. You can type this out. And again, we're just going to go to primary dark. So we got these two together. That is probably a bit too big. Okay, so what we're going to do is, let's see if we can do it this way. If I was to join everything, let's see how that works. So union selection, okay, that's joined everything, and then constraints, and then if I say 48, ooh, that didn't work right. 48, ooh, okay, yeah, it doesn't really work, does it? Okay, doesn't work. So if I just Command Z, so now when you want to make the logo smaller, maybe that will work for now. Okay, let's just have a think. Actually, what I'm going to do is hit Shift and Alt and just manually drag it, which even that doesn't work. Wow, interesting. So here, let me readjust that. Let me go to up here and then scale. Okay, hold Shift and Alt and just manually scale it down. Okay, so I got that down to around 44. Okay, I think that's good enough. So we're going to have the logo in the center, and again I'm referencing this one. Okay, and then this one we are basically really quickly is going to do this type of concept. Okay, so we are just going to bring these together closer, so Shift A and let's say 8 and center align. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And what we're going to do is straight away we are going to bring in this really nice image, so just drag it in. Okay, so that's obviously pretty big, and let's get this down to 1440, center align and vertically align. Okay, so what we're going to do there is send this to back. Ooh, cut it. Oh, that's weird. It seems to have put in its own frame. Interesting. Okay, here we are. And ooh, it's a bit awkward, isn't it? So let me just collapse some of these frames so I've got more space and my face won't get in the way. So this is the logo. No, that is the to-do. Wow, getting mixed up here. So we go back to frame. This one we label that logo, and then we just put that on top, and we are going to make this white. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is, whenever you have these situations with this type of image, we need to also darken the image. We just need to go here into the image, and let's see if we can do it like this. So we are going to put in a dark solid, and we're going to bring the opacity down, so Shift Tab. So let's say around 50% is pretty good. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in a product shot. Okay, so probably the best one is this main view here, so just copy and then paste. And what we're going to do to make it a bit more realistic is put a border radius of 30, and we're also going to bring the width of it down. So let's say if I go to, so one way to bring this size down is if I were to go constraints and then let's say 280, okay, that doesn't really work nicely. So you have to go to scale, Shift and Alt, and manually just bring it down. So 280 seems to be the width that's used on a lot of sites, so I think that is fine. And now we can just bring that a bit more in the center. Now the downside to this is I think she's too in the center, right? So let's make this a bit bigger, and let's bring that down. Okay, so I think that's better. So now she's not too much in the center, and this one is going to get a bit more how do you say, a bit more space. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to introduce some text. So this is very, very simple, okay, nothing too crazy, but I think we could actually do something else. Sometimes if you want the user to scroll, sometimes you don't know that they can scroll, because this is a full image, even though there's the, well, let's give you an example. So this one, what I can do is I can bring that up. We don't want to completely chop off the head here, and neither do we want to chop off that bit either. So let's just bring this down a bit, okay, and we're bringing her more to the right now. I think that's way better actually. Okay, actually around there, and let's bring her up a bit more. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to have the next section here, and if I cut that, paste it into that frame, go to the bottom, let's just give that a height of 300, and then we need to send backward and then align that to the bottom. So the nice thing here is this is sticking out, and now it's going to encourage the user to scroll. Now let's bring this down a bit. And probably this image we need to make it smaller because we don't want to crop out the whole face. Okay, so again, not the perfect image, but we're getting real people, we're getting a product image. This one I could probably make that, do we make that white? Okay, I think white would be nice, or maybe let's say the lightest grey, maybe this one, system grey light. Nice. Okay. This one we're going to actually give that a shadow, and let's say that we use the smooth shadow that we did yesterday. So right click, plug in, and shadow maker. And we're 30 minutes in. We've done quite a lot already because we did a lot of the planning already. Now it's just executing. So here I'm just going to hit apply. So that shadow is pretty nice. So now that's sticking out a bit more. And again, it's keeping it clean. We're aligning the product to the left. But actually, what you do see is, you see this on the right and the text on the left. Okay, so let's just see how this goes. And then the main heading, if I hit T, it's going to be simple. Ooh, let's just make sure that is white, for example. So white. Let's make the heading bigger because the heading needs to stand out. So are we going to use should we use the font of Orbitron? So a simple fitness timer. Okay, now again, we're not getting too deep into the copy, but for example, if I were just to bring those into their own lines, okay. Simple fitness timer, okay. So what is unique about this? Well, everyone can have a timer, but I think one of the things that we want to do on here is simple fitness timer with audio. Okay, so again, that's quite vague. Does that make it different? I mean, seconds also has audio. Okay, so so simple fitness audio. Should we bring that? So I'm just minus tabbing the line spacing to make it a bit tighter. So that's not too bad, looking quite nice there. Now what we're trying to do is we're trying to do a download button. Okay, so what we can do here is we can do Shift A, and then this button we're going to fill it. It's going to be white with a border radius. We normally go with 8, but I'm going to be a bit more generous. Let's say 16. Let's say spacing, we are going to be 16, oops, sorry, 8 and 8. But let's be more generous with the button, okay? Let's make this nice and big, and we're going along with the 8-point grid, okay? And this text, we are gonna just position around there. And these probably need to be bold, so download on the App Store. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these probably bigger. So let's say we're actually using the iOS default sizes, but I thought why not? Okay, so title 1, let's see how big that gets. Okay, that's probably too big. Let's say 22. 22 should be pretty good. Okay. So we want to actually emphasize, actually we want to put these on 2 separate text. So if I cut that, delete, and then if I paste, this one I'm going to stack it down, and this one I'm going to shift up, and this one I'm going to bring it down, this one I'm then going to just disconnect, and I want to make that semi-bold because we're emphasizing download on the App Store. Do we go like that? Actually, download on the App Store. Okay, let's just have a look at how other download on the, okay, yeah, that's how you do it. And we're going to get the Apple symbol. This one again, we could probably make that bigger. That one, we can make that, I'll say 16. And we'll make that bigger. So let's go to search for default again. We're going to go 28. We're going to disconnect and we're going to make that semi-bold. And then what we're going to do is we're going to also just make, I think that's okay for now, right? Now the next thing to do is to find the logo for Apple. Okay, so one site you can go to is simpleicons.org, and I think these are SVGs. So if we search for Apple, there we go, just click, it will download the SVG. I'm going to drag that over. Okay, cut that, paste that. Actually, we cut it again. So in here, we have to put this into a frame, Shift A. And then we're going to click on frame 16. Let's just name that button. We're going to paste the logo in. We are going to horizontally. We're going to left tab that. And then what we can say is we want a spacing between those of, let's say 8. Let's say 16. 16 is good. This one, can we make the logo bigger? Let's say 30. Let's say 40. And can we vertically align? Beautiful. Okay, so this could probably be tighter, right? So if I say 28, detach, and I say 16, download on the App Store. But now I'm thinking have a bit of a gap, let's say 4. And probably went back to what it was. This one, so I'll say 48. Okay, that's looking better. Okay, so if we zoom out and zoom in, simple fitness timer with audio, download on the App Store. And to be fair, I think we've done our landing page, right? It is very, very simple. And I think that is good enough, right? We're sticking to the brawn, to the simple theme. The only thing I don't like about here is her arms are gone, which is not great. So if you're doing a one page, you could probably just have it like, maybe like this. If I cut that, paste, if I then bring that down, because it's kind of nice to see something, I guess. And this one, we definitely want that to be above. Okay, I think that's okay. We're probably overthinking it. So we're 24 minutes in, so I think that's good. And now we can propose different concepts to the client, right? Well, we're not going to drastically change it. We're just going to change the imagery, and this could be a different section of the website, or it could be A/B testing. Okay, so we're not drastically changing the design, it's just the elements or the assets. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to bring these up, and I'm going to go here, I'm going to duplicate that, and I'm just going to switch these around. So this big image here, I'm going to right click, flip horizontal. And then, wow, I mean, you do want her to face the, actually, maybe I'll try that. So if I bring it to the other side, okay, so let's say minus 400, minus 1,000, minus 1,000, oh, you can't do minus 1,000, why not? There you go, okay. So let's bring it out a bit more. And why am I doing this in the first place? What I'm trying to do is have the heading and the product on the right. So if I just drag this there, you read from left to right. So I'm randomly placing these, but again, we're producing different concepts. So if I shift A that, spacing can be accurate of 40, and here I'm vertically aligning these two. Oh, even that could work, right? You can have an alternate view there of something else. I mean, that is pretty interesting as well. When you end up just mucking around, you can come up with different concepts. And what I mean by that is if I hit rectangle, this could just be a different, and then center back. We could use the brand color, right? So orange. Okay, I mean that is different, right? But again, I'm just playing around. Make that dead in the center. Again, we're keeping it really simple. The only thing is, this is not great because it's right on top of her head. Okay. But again, we can make, let's see, if I made this smaller, bring it more there. Okay, that's nice. I think that works, okay? And then if I duplicate it then, again, they might not want a solid thing there. I mean, you could have CTA up here, right? So again, we can just go dark on that. And that is quite nice as well. You could even fade these two in. So we've got different versions. So what I'd love is for you to vote, you know, tell me which one you like. If I put, I'm going to put A and B and C, okay? And this is like A/B testing as well. Now the other one that I wanted to put in is, if I duplicate that, I'm going to say that is D, okay? And the image, we're going to bring in my image, the one that I took earlier. So again, if we go to, wow, we're going to reach 30 minutes. So which one do I like out of these? And the lighting is obviously, yeah, let's choose one that is a bit at an angle, that one, okay. If I drag that in, nice. Cut that, go here, and then go to this one, we paste, wow, center back. Okay, let's hide that one. Ooh, interesting. Okay, even that kind of works, right? We've got Sony, a really zoomed in version. Interesting. Okay, and that is even that might work, right? That might work, or it might not work, but hey, we're playing around. That's the beautiful thing about designing. Ooh, okay, and if I was to zoom it down, so now you can see it's right at home. The only thing is the text goes over everything. I think the zoomed in one works really nicely, right? But I think the text goes over the time. So I think something like this would work better with the layout. Oh. I think something like that could work nicely, okay? And this one, again, the numbers are over it, right? We probably want to just maybe bring it around there. I think that's pretty nice as well. And one of the things is, how do you know to scroll? Okay, so a very, very simple technique is what I love about, yeah, I think, which one am I loving more? I mean, this one is quite nice because it's different with that solid background, right? So let's say this one, I'm going to go with, well, it's really the same version and we're on 30 minutes. So I'll go down. How do you encourage someone to scroll? So you know you've got the mouse icon. What I'm going to do instead, I'm just going to have a very simple line. Okay, so here, hit shift, and I'm going to say a width of, ooh, we can't do that. We can't do it that way. I'm going to hit alpha rectangle, and I'm going to say a width of 5, and let's say 300. So it's like it's encouraging you to scroll. And I'm going to use, should I use the brown color? Let's see, you've got orange. Ooh, nice, that works, doesn't it? Because now we're using the same colors. That is pretty nice. What if I put that right in the middle? Because again, we're inspired by Braun. Yeah, in the middle works, okay? That does work. Whew, very nice. Okay, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And it was a very, very simple landing page. And the nice thing about using real images, you know, you've got real people, it looks real, it might not look so professional, but, well, to me it is, but it looks real. And same with this one is one that I took myself. So yes, let me know in the comments which version you like, A, B, C, or D. And then, what do you think about this, encouraging users to scroll below the fold? So yeah, let me know, and leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.